Today I'm in the Thompson Park area just outside of Butte, Montana. I've got my RSD mare here and clearly going for a ride in the snow. I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with it, so as I'm riding today, that's what I'm going to talk about. The things that I love about fat bike riding in the snow and the things that I hate about it. So let's get to it. This is the Blacktail Loop right here. As you can see, it's pretty heavily trafficked, even in the winter. The whole loop is a lollipop. So you go, you've got a stem, and then you do a circle, and then you head back. It's about 4 miles total, so not terrible. So let's start off with the things I love about having a fat bike and riding in the snow. The first thing is pretty obvious, especially if you look at the name of this channel, but having a fat bike and living somewhere with snow means I get to ride all year round. Prior to this, I could kind of ride in the winter, but it was more of an experiment than an enjoyable experience. I grew up in Texas where it doesn't snow, obviously, and so it was kind of hard when I moved somewhere that had a winter. When I first moved to Utah, which was my first winter place, I was a poor college student, so skiing was really hard for me. It's so expensive. I actually have only been once, and it was okay. It was actually snowboarding, not skiing, but anyway, it made me really struggle with winters because I felt like I was stuck indoors. So a fat bike kind of opens things up, and I really like it for that. The second reason I love it has to do with my sense of adventure. I really like exploring and feeling, I don't know, like something I'm doing is a little different than what a lot of people wouldn't do. Obviously lots of people ride fat bikes, and clearly I'm riding somewhere that a lot of people have been, but it's still, when you're out here, it's cold, you're on the snow, it's pretty quiet, you can see the tracks of all the animals. It's a really cool feeling. So it kind of feeds and satisfies my sense of adventure, even if it's really not something that has any inherent danger or anything. The third reason I love it is that I actually think it's pretty fun. It's different than riding on the dirt, which is actually something I like about it, but it's kind of a challenge. So it's fun and helps you to gain some new skills, because you better believe that there's not as much traction as on dirt. So if you're looking to improve your balance and some of those bike skills, this will do it. There is actually a lot more traction than you'd probably think, especially when it's hard packed like this or groomed, but it's still pretty loose. Like all biking, the most fun part is on the downhills, not necessarily the climbs. But what makes it especially fun is that you've got like some sense of like less control. Oops. See if I can go through it. Am I gonna make it? No, I'm not. In the snow, you're not going quite as fast, obviously, but what makes it still really fun is that the trail surface is a little more unpredictable. So you've got like this slight white knuckle approach because you never really know when the snow is going to be, I don't know, softer or push out on you. You also don't usually, at least, get hurt quite as bad when you fall because you've got some cushion from the snow. Yeah, you can for sure get hurt on a log or a rock, but most of the time you're gonna fall somewhere with a nice little padding. Let's get on to the reasons I dislike it. Where the, oh gosh, where the hate side of the love-hate comes in. The biggest thing, and this could be good or bad, but is the reason that I'm walking right now. And that's because it is a good workout. If you've ever walked in sand and you can tell like, man, you're having to put some extra effort in, it's kind of like that, except you're you're riding, same as riding into a headwind in some ways. So really good for your fitness overall, but it is a little bit of a miserable experience at times. Especially like right now, sometimes it's really hard to get started. This is a narrow trail. It's basically single track, but if you go off the side at all, it pulls you off. It also makes it really hard to start on an incline because your tire digs in. It's not quite as fun unless you're really into suffering, which I normally am, but I am a little bit struggling today. But I guess you could argue it does keep you in shape throughout the winter, and you don't even have to ride as far because you're getting the same amount of effort in. Okay, for the sake of time, because as you can see the sun's setting, I'm going to turn around here. So didn't get close to doing the whole loop. I made it most of the way up one side, but I'm gonna have to turn around for time's sake. I'll start off saying this next reason why I hate fat biking in the snow has to do with this. Yes, this is a little bit of a personal problem, but I get sweaty, I heat up, my glasses fog up. I've tried anti-fog stuff, it just doesn't work. But it goes into the greater picture of you gotta wear a lot of stuff, and it just makes you kind of, I don't know, it's kind of annoying. So like you gotta layer up, which isn't the end of the world, but you know, I've got bibs first, then like an undershirt, then just like a short sleeve jersey, then this thing. Then I've got gloves on, then I have some pants on that are waterproof, basically, snow pants. Then I have boots on and wool socks. So you gotta wear a lot of stuff, and I don't really like that. It's nice to be able to just throw some different clothes on really quick and go. You don't have to worry about as much. You don't really end up on the trail with missing, being like, oh shoot, I got there, I forgot my gloves, or I forgot, I don't know, a hat to keep my head warm, kind of a thing. Not everyone's gonna have a problem with that, but I certainly do. A lot of people prefer trainers in the winter, because you get to stay in your nice warm house, and you don't even have to wear anything if you want. You're in your house, and it's just a little more convenient. Whew. Oh gosh, come on. Lost it. Another thing that's really kind of annoying, although there are solutions for it, is the winter, obviously you don't have as much sunlight, so it's hard to find time to get out, because I mean the sun sets before 5 most of the time in the winter here. So then you're just worried about one more piece of equipment, a light, make sure it's charged. Let's enjoy the downhill for a second. Oh yeah, that's where I was talking about, those little balance skills that come in. Every single turn is a little bit of a challenge, especially when you're going kind of quick. The last reason, and I had kind of thought of these before, so now that I'm on this downhill and it's actually super fun, I don't know how valid this reason is. Well, it is, but as much fun as it is, it's just so hard to beat riding on dirt. Whew. You just get to go faster. You get to really enjoy jumping and being a little more playful with the bike. This is just kind of a white knuckle fear fest, which is fun, but sometimes you don't want that. Woo. I watch people who are in warmer areas, and I think sometimes in the winter I'm just a tiny bit jealous. I just think, man, that looks so nice. It's just rocks and dirt, and They're wearing a t-shirt. I get a little envious.
Overall, it's definitely more of a love than a hate relationship, but I think it's important to acknowledge that there are some downsides to riding in the snow. It's just that, in my opinion, the fun of being out there in the snow and being able to ride my bike no matter what far outweighs some of these hassles, at least most of the time. Let me know down in the comments what you think though, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.